Uh-oh, indeed.
Where? We had one of these ships.
All right, we are live with the next session of The Man Skulls of Power. Welcome back. Chris may join us, may not, cares. We're going to go ahead and play. We have to, I'm sorry, Jake.
Roll high and subscribe.
Roll high and subscribe, as usual. I have downloaded a map, as you can see. I did not spend my, although I like my personal maps much better, for this town of Bush.
Yeah, I need some updates. I have no idea what's going on.
Were you here last weekend? The
No.
last time we put. Okay. Well, we will roll for recap as Adam gets set up.
For you to roll into a recap.
I rolled a 16. The recap. Roll for recap. So last time on Angoth Doomhand, you had just defeated the monster, or the dragon.
The dragon.
You had landed to loot the dragon. You guys each got a piece of something. I know I have here Adam had a liver circled, so we're going to figure out what that's going to do to him if he eats that.
No.
Okay, well you have some, you will be rolling, took something from the dragon.
Good.
Well, where were you? You were in the mouth, you did the brain. What would you like to have taken? What would your character have taken? We'll circle back to it.
Okay.
But you tell me what you have taken, and I'll pick up the notes as you play. So, Chris, I think you took some... Chris, what did you take?
I got the heart, and we made sure we got the skull and the claws on board.
So, Booterbot, you killed the dragon. I would say that you'll get...
As you the blood. I emptied out my jug. I could put some...
Dragon blood. Love it.
The blood. Yeah.
Alright, so you got three... Let's say three vials. How many vials did you have? Let's say you have 3 pints. 3 pints of blood. And we'll figure out what the special powers of that are. If you so deem... You know, if it's the time to consume.
I'll just say dragon blood.
Nice.
3 pints.
Okay.
Does Booterbot run on oil?
Yeah,
Well, now he runs on dragon blood.
Alright, so you guys defeated the dragon. You went and looted his body. You saw Doomhand was coming. You got into the ships, and you started running away from Doomhand. You had an interesting time, and viewers, you can go back and take a look, but you had an interesting time there trying to figure out what your move was. So you were trying to turn around. One idea was to turn around and flank him and run away. Another idea was to just face him head on. And the other idea was to sort of run. You had taken the crystal from the island, which gives your airship the power to travel through break the barrier of the lower sky area to the middle sky area. And after a storm came, and Doomhand was still chasing you, you tried to hover underneath the storm to sort of dodge him or get him to...
I'm listening.
Yeah, get him to not see you for a while, but that didn't work. And anyway, you guys decided to floor it straight up into the Sky Kingdom area, or to the middle sky area. And when you came out of that, there was a big magical void, because you guys had tried to go through, and it kept on pushing you back. But as you used that crystal, and that crystal is gone now, you excelled through to the next area. And the next area you saw, you were above the sky, and you were above the lower sky area. You could still see the land and the clouds below, but you're way up there now. You're pretty high. And in my world building, this would be the stratosphere, right, Chris? It's the middle area there where commuter airplanes travel, and it's below, it's like, I think it's actually warm up there. And you have reached it. The area is thin in air, so exhaustion is going to, for those of you who breathe, oxygen is going to be something that plays a factor up here when it comes to exhaustion. So the longer you're up here, you will have to figure that out. There will be ways to, you'll come up with your own ways, as you always do. Players always have the answers. And when you landed and you docked, you actually, right before that, you ran into a guy named Tenson, I believe, and he sold you a map of the Sky Kingdom. So you, on your map of the Sky Kingdom, you see that it's made up of 11 floating islands, and they're quite large. There's a main massive one. The one that you guys landed on is sort of shaped like a tusk, if you will. And as you landed, you realized that this island in the sky is home to, passive perception-wise, a bunch of Loxodon. And you guys can fill me in if I missed anything for the...
Well, our map man did give us one bit of information, said that rules are important.
Yes.
We arrived at Tuskington Port.
Can we sink one of the 11 islands?
No,
No, that was...
we just got here.
Yeah, the 11 islands make up the Sky Kingdom.
The Sky Island that we dropped was from the lower sky. Different region.
The small war crime that we committed?
You guys have a map of the area. You do see that there are elephants around. You do know and remember that rules are important here. And that's it. As you land, unlike the island that you were just at, there are no greetings. You guys are still on the ship. I've just put you in front because I didn't know how to place you. That's where you'll start.
We sleep.
I've been repairing the ship the whole last episode, I thought. Yeah. I would like a long rest, though. Why don't we say we did a long rest?
We get here and take watches as we sleep.
Yeah. That seems good. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So you guys are going to do some long rests?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll take watch.
Does anyone have to level up? I feel like that's...
I do not.
Oh, perfect. Good. All right. What would you guys like to know as you do your long rest? Your ship is docked. It seems safe. There are ships flying around. It's a lot busier here. A lot more happening. You can hear clanks even 8 hours. I believe you guys were in the evening traveling up past Doomhand. So 8 hours, I would say it's just morning as you finish your rests.
Okay, perfect. I think our ship is only at 150 out of the 300 hit points
Yes.
at this point. So in the morning after, as everyone else is getting up, Stag is going to continue his job of attempting to mend and repair this ship. Goodbye, good, you're up. You can help me.
I'm happy to continue repairing the ship.
Let's just keep doing everything until everyone else gets up, and then maybe go into the town for some of these supplies that aren't easily repaired.
I can help with as much as I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's do it.
So you'll spend the day mending?
Yeah, I'm repairing.
All right. Now,
I have a question. As we're sitting here, is the crystal that's holding the ship up, so it's being held up on its own?
Yeah, when you docked, it has these wooden docking things. It's sort of like the ship sort of sets on and rests on. So you do not have to worry about
The crystal.
the crystals using. So you can actually shut down for a time period. And yeah.
Okay. So we just repair then.
All right. Let me pull up your repair. I think that, I mean, you're not going to get full repair, but I guess if you have 4 people working, 5 people, let's just say that the other 2 people are playing, you guys will repair, will have, if you spent the day just repairing, you'll get an extra 50 HP for that. So you're at 200 out of your thing. However, your breathing is getting harder the more you work, because and you're starting to realize, all of you collectively, that the air is thin. Yeah, except for you.
I think.
You're fine. And so now it'll be, I don't know what you guys want to do. Continue to, I would say that you can only repair so much with your tools and parts.
Well, let's go into town and see if we can get what else we need.
Let's say we spent a day being on the ship. How much HP do we get back?
We got
You got 50 HP on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need crew, don't we?
yeah.
Just did.
Alright, we are on a mission to recruit some crew as well.
some crew, some supplies, and we're here looking for the White Skull, right?
Well, that wasn't for me.
Yeah. I know, you're excited, Spencer. So maybe we can find someone who might know something about that. Maybe one of these temples, just like how in Trigard was a temple of Bane, actually had information about the skulls. Maybe temple here might have some information.
Should we find, maybe talk to, the governor or the mayor or whoever? Or would that be too obvious?
I have no idea who the governor, or if they have a mayor. There might be a whole different form of society up here. Let's go find out.
All right.
Start strolling off the ship.
All right, as you stroll off the ship, you see workers, you see other people, other ships docked. It's a quite large dock. You do see that there are a lot of Loxodon just walking around doing normal day things that you would imagine. And there is an entrance to the city, which seems to have some Loxodon guards at its entrance.
Know anything about our friend Kali Leaford? Or is that just like
they are wearing high heels. Look at them. The guards are wearing high heels.
They will know that. Well, we'll have to roll for that. So, what's your attempt here? Are you trying to?
I guess we'd have to be in a conversation with one of them. So maybe we wait till that happens.
There was a city of Bush, my 40th
Yeah.
clip. Okay. So, what are you guys going to do? You guys going to walk over to the...
Well,
As you walk over, you see that there is definitely some... Give me an Arcana check, Turgan.
That's not going to be very good.
What'd you get?
Can I
11.
give you?
11. Turgan, you have, ever since you've docked, you sort of have this, feeling inside of you, sort of like a vibration, a subtle vibration, which is making you look around and try to, hence the Arcana check. It's like that feeling when you take, I hate to say this, but when you take mushrooms right before you start, your whole body sort of, it feels good.
Yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you.
A little bit unhooked, I guess, or hooked in too much, or whatever. The voltage is a little bit too high or too low. You're getting that uneasy but yet cool feeling being on this land. You're not quite sure if it's the magic in the area or something else.
All right, I'm going to tell Stag. Hey, you feel that weird energy, like a vibration? I can't describe it. You do the magic stuff. Why don't you check it out?
well, my magic is typically song and dance, so I don't really know that traditional magic shit.
But you don't feel his vibes?
I'll stop and close my eyes and try and feel what Turkin is telling me. Do I notice it?
Give me an Arcana.
A 17.
You definitely sense that there's magic in the atmosphere. There's definitely something. You know that the crystals were holding up the towns and the islands in the lower sky area, but this middle sky area, it seems that there's a different type of magic in the air. Not one that you can pinpoint, but it's making you feel watched. But you do not have that sense that Turgan has, that jittery sort of
Okay.
subliminal, sublime, almost high, almost not feeling.
Yeah, there's something weird here, but stay close. We'll find out more soon.
All right.
As you get closer to the town guards, does anyone speak Loxodon?
No?
Well, I have Fey Touched, so I can comprehend languages, so I want to do that if you need me to.
So you can comprehend what people are saying. but you can't, like, how does that work? Can you read things?
It says, for the duration, you can understand, and the duration is an hour, you can understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You can also understand any written language that you see. And it does not mean secret messages or other things that are in code.
So the town guards are going to say something like, "Raw!" That's what the guys hear. But because you're using your language, you're going to hear them say, "Travelers, check in here. Who are you? What have you come here for? What is your bidding in our kingdom of Bush?"
Yeah, I think we just landed here, and we are looking for a number of things, but first and foremost, our ship is in dire need of repairs and additional crew. We're also looking for information about how to reach the Upper Sky Kingdom.
Are you able to
I
say
guess.
that?
I mean, it says comprehend languages, not speak them, I guess. So DM will decide what that means.
So he's going to speak in broken common to you guys now. And you asked him which questions? You're saying,
We need to hire some crew, repair our ship, and learn more about how to get to the Upper Sky Kingdom.
I'm sure that the crew could be found in the city. I'm sure there are people willing to work. The Upper Sky Kingdom, well, that's a different thing. I don't quite know.
Yeah, if we got a map of the Sky Kingdom and it has 11 islands on it, and there's like one big island.
Yeah.
Is that all in the middle layer, and maybe we should be heading to that big island?
Yeah, so you're in the middle.
Can we hold up the map to the guard and have them point out where we might find the crew, most likely?
He points to the center of the map, and it shows you on this island. It shows you the buildings in the square. He says there are bars, there are areas where you can, shopping centers. You do what you got to do to find. I'm sure that
Okay.
the Loxodons and the dwarves and whatever you're looking for will be happy to assist you. Of course, you have to pay the correct price. Loxodons are stubborn. That's about as broken and common as you can. They are stubborn. Just remember that the Sky Patrol, the Cloud Patrol is watching. So obey the rules, and you should not have a problem here.
Are there any special rules we should know about? Like any unique currencies that the Sky Kingdom uses? Anything for outsiders that would be helpful to know so we don't get in trouble?
We love the riches. Men here love gold and silver. We don't have our own unique currency. We take all currencies.
Do you take Tancocks?
We do take Dancocks.
Yeah.
As long as they're gold and metal, we'll take it.
They're a lot rarer these days.
They're a lot rarer these days. And they probably are, at the moment, unaware of your happenings at Tancock. So I don't think that they would have necessarily known anything yet.
Is there a tavern nearby, maybe?
Yes, over in the square, there's a tavern. It's called the Tusks Barn.
Aye. Alright. I say we go to the tavern, get a drink, and maybe find some potential crew.
Sounds good to me.
You're muted again, Chris.
That sounds perfect. But one last question to the guards. By the way, I love your high heels. They're beautiful. Is there a church or religious temple with any clergy that I might be able to speak to?
Yes, there is. The church is, and he sort of just points, and off the island, floating in the distance, is and you can see it in the corner, is a floating, somewhat religious-looking temple.
Okay.
If you have the stream open, I'm looking at it
Oh,
right
I
now.
see it.
He says the bridge is drawn to the temple only once a day. At the ceremony for the Pale Skull.
The ceremony's at noon. Every day at noon?
Midday, he says, because they're not going to have
Oh.
midday.
Okay. Well, Thank you for that information. And Stack will scurry off to catch up to the rest of the group going to the tavern.
As you guys walk through this town, you see that there are shopping centers. There's your normal things like any sort of trading dock. There's food, merchants, people bartering. It's very crowded. Heavy dwarf population too. The dwarves are dressed, some of them are dressed in monk-like clothing, which are light green and yellowish. For the most part, the Loxodon are just dressed like average Joes. You see there's a place where you can buy weapons, there's a place where you can buy trade goods, there's a magic shop, there's a bar that you guys are looking for with a tusk, a huge tusk on it, and it's made out of emerald, and there's a written in a language that you don't understand, but Booterbot does. It says Tusk's Barn. And there's pretty much anything that you would normally see in a city, but heavily Loxodon focused. As you guys walk closer towards the tavern, as you guys make your way over to the tavern, I'll just put you guys over there. It's a happening place. There are people sitting outside, and they're obviously drunk. There's people eating. Two soldiers who are obviously off guard are talking. These dwarves don't know what they're talking about. The earth is most definitely round. They keep coming here trying to... It's almost heresy, if you ask me. Blah. He burps, and he accidentally bumps into Turgan. Excuse me, my lad. Long shift, if you understand.
I do. Hey, can you help me out with something? We're new around here.
It depends. This gentleman needs some assistance, perhaps. What sort of help would you require?
I'm gonna say, hold on. Hey, wench, get us around the ales. To kind of break the ice, I'm gonna order them some drinks, whatever they're drinking. The conversation.
This lady runs back in. You guys are still at the entrance sitting outside. This lady runs back into the bar and fills up a jug of this sort of thick-looking beer. The air is thin up here so that there's not much bubbles to it. It's more meaty than anything. And then bring it out. It's made out of a lot of fruit. Here you are. Your poison fruit, as you wish.
Toss her a gold coin.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say, just keep them coming.
So,
And then I turn to these guys.
his partner Gristrol chugs his. Oh, that hits the spot. Long days, these rules, and you never know who's gonna break one. And he says, "Now what?" Gristrol says, "Hey, Tristamp, go ahead and we have to head off soon. Tristamp, we were saying these guys needed help of some kind."
Aye, yeah, we're looking for some help with our ship. We need to repair it, and we need a crew. You know anybody that can help us?
I know a lot of soldiers, but it'd be tough to get them to break rank and join a ship. I would say during the ceremonies to the Pale Skull every day, everyone comes out, witnesses the ceremony. You might be able to get a good look at some people who need work. What kind of skilled labor are you looking for?
To repair an airship.
You could probably find people to repair a ship at the shipyard or at the wood and smith shops down the road over yonder, pointing in the general direction back to where you came, where the markets were.
You know anybody looking for work to be on a crew?
All I know are town guards for the most part, but I do have a cousin named Trident, who's up and coming. He's in the ranks. He could use a little extra money. You could find him probably over at the smith. He polishes off and refines he sharpens our weapons and blades at the smith. He goes back and forth each day carrying these weapons, and right now he's in charge. It's a terrible job of making sure the weapons are fit for the policing of this town. It's a brutal job. Imagine the paper cuts and the metal cuts you get on that one. Trident might be worth asking. Remember that the pay is important. but I bet it would pay more than what he's getting here with this sort of low-paying weaponry job he has now.
Right. Meta, if you guys want to ask any questions, go right ahead.
I was letting Dwarf talk to the dwarves.
Well, I think these are Loxodon.
Oh, they're Loxodon? I thought they were dwarves. Oh, well, we just got to the bar, so Stag would have been wandering off trying to play some music and earn some tips. If
So they have
permitted to play in the bar.
They have a daily ritual to a pale skull, is what I'm gathering.
Oh, yeah, that's when the bridge opens to the temple.
So
the
that's
church.
the skull. That's the skull we want.
Oh, that's one of them.
We're at one of them.
Well, if it's actually here, they might also just be. And he'll pull out the book from Trigard, start flipping through. There's been a number of cultures that, like, their whole culture surrounds the skull and the mythology of it, but the skull isn't actually there. Like, there's one organization or one tribe in the Everglade, a bunch of kobolds, their whole culture surrounded the worship of the green skull. But it was never there. It was in Artemisia.
Okay.
So they would probably have information that we need to find it.
Okay.
So that's at midday is what the guard said. So we got some time to kill. Do you want to get a couple drinks? Relax a little?
Yeah, we can move on from these guys. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help. And
Carry on. The tavern is packed. There are a variety of different races and classes, or races in there. Are you looking for, what would you guys like to do with your time? Are you trying to earn tips at the bar? Are you trying to...
I'm trying to play music and earn tips.
Okay.
I'm trying to just get as much info as possible and then go fight some stuff.
You remember during your... As you flipped through that book... Actually, why don't everyone give me a history check? I don't know if I should meta this or make you remember it. Because the librarian did tell you about where...
Nat 20.
All right.
Thank you.
So, Turgan, your body, you feel it's like almost like that Will Ferrell moment in Old School where he just like he's at the debate and he just like blacks out and has this like epiphany, and you're like, oh well, actually the skull, the librarian in your the hairs on all of your body start to stick up, and you feel that again, that weird sublime tripping moment. It gets a little bit more intense as you start talking about you remember, and you tell everyone that the white skull is found in the tomb of the king. But
that was 2 ago with the librarian.
Yeah, and she told
the
you...
king's tomb where all the crystals come from.
Right, the great crystal spirit, the king's tomb, the great white crystal is located, the white skull, which is what the great white crystal is called in these parts, or the pale skull, they're all the same. It was found underneath in the king's tomb. Turgan, you had that you're like, well, actually, the librarian from Pelar in the Mind Flayer's cursed library, when we rescued her from the fake elder brain, she told us that the white skull is found underneath the tomb somewhere in the sky. We don't quite know where it is, but they're all celebrated it up there as if it was some sort of magical being. And then you come out and you're like, and give me a Constitution save with that. Or no, give me a Arcana check. I'm sorry. Arcana.
Like Will Ferrell in Old School.
What did I say?
It just happened.
You're now aware that something is happening to you that is not necessarily happening to the surrounding magic around you. There's something going on in your body that's not similar to that is surrounding. Something is making you feel uneasy, but also at the same time like you have a feeling of warmth. It's very, very peculiar.
All right.
You just need some more ale. Drink up.
I don't know. Something feels not right.
Well, it's probably the thin air. You'll be fine.
What are you doing?
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can sense anything, even though it's not affecting me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, 25.
All right. What are you trying to find out?
Why? What is this magical feeling, and what is it like? What is it doing? Why is it affecting Turgan in particular? Yeah.
There is you can feel that it's something is drawing to him, or drawing him to it, or maybe he is drawn to it, or vice versa. The magic that you are able to discern is similar to that of the vibration in Chris's pocket of the green skull. It's a similar magical makeup.
That makes sense.
One that you have yet to experience, but you've experienced Chris draw out. You've seen when Doomhand's ship came. You saw the magic happen on the skulls that you do have. I guess it's just one green skull, right? You witnessed that, and there's a similar magic tone going on with Turgan. Not necessarily the green skull, though. And just at this moment, what are you guys doing? Are you trying to go towards like the Smith area? Are you trying to recruit? I just need to know what direction you guys are planning.
Did I earn any money playing music?
Yeah, well, give me a performance.
Well, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself right before I get into it. But I'm gonna, in the tavern, when the current music stops for a moment, I'll just jump right in and start playing.
Okay.
And you hear, I said hip hop, a hibby to the hip hip hoppy, you don't stop, a rocket to the bang bang, boogie set up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat. A 19.
That's great.
I rolled a 3.
You see, I'm just going to use these priests as dwarfs. Perform well, and a crowd starts to surround. And what's your goal here? To earn tips?
Just earn money.
There are...
Or if anyone seems like they might be crew worthy.
There are some dwarves. There are some dwarf females, dwarf males. There's elephants, elephantes, I guess, that surround you primarily. They're all dancing to your beat. They are going to collectively throw you, roll me a...
I'll mage hand my hat around for them to put points in.
They are going to collectively put in 5 silvers. Which will probably buy you a round or 2 of beers.
Stack now has a total of 5 silver.
As you're dancing, you notice some of the female dwarfs are looking at you a little lustfully, and so are the elephant men and women. Not the dwarfs, though. The dwarf men are not, a 19 is not high enough for that.
I'll go by Turgan and elbow him and then point to sort of like gesture without being too obvious towards the dwarf women. I softened them up for you. Go knock them down.
I'm not interested in these city dwarves.
Well, we need some crew, man.
All right.
Are there any people that I could talk to try to recruit them? Any like Warforged?
Yeah.
Any people?
Yeah, there's a whole group of them. In the background, you'll see that there are just more quiet types, dwarfs and Loxodon alike, near you as well. I would imagine you guys are all watching in the crowd as Stag plays.
Are there any non-dwarf or Loxodons here?
Perception.
Tonight, a 7.
There are a couple gnomes.
Okay.
We'll put them out. These are my Dimly Axon from Hero Forge.
Dimly.
And there are, rather, a couple humans as well.
So, Turgan, what'd you have in mind for wages?
I don't know what's the going rate for a crew.
I don't know. I've never hired a crew before. I've always just been on the road by myself.
Is a gold piece a day good? Is that too high?
Oh, we could use a little trick of ask them what they would want and then undercut it.
All right, let's do it.
I'll push you towards the dwarves as I head towards the... Actually, I'll follow you to the dwarves. I'll cast guidance on you and try and help you throughout the conversation.
You go up to the 3 dwarfs. There's 1 female and 2 male. And they're all still dancing and sort of laughing as they dance around merrily.
All right. I'm gonna
Go for it.
I'm gonna come over and say hello in Dwarvish and say, hey, can I buy you all around?
This is my cousin Maydeen, and I am Drolt, and this is my brother Dinot. We love the poison fruit ale that they have here. It's quite rough. I would love to have it around. What brings you to this area? The barkeep comes out. Does anyone want anything? Everyone sort of just like drunkenly throws her change.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, let's get a round for us over here.
Oh, for you, high-paying lad, you're first served. And I said, a high payer like you shouldn't have to wait. I'll be right back. She runs in, and almost as quickly as she runs in, she runs out with 6 more, each one for each of you, and 1 for the dwarves that you just met. As she said, high payer, Maydeen sort of looks at you a little bit differently, and so does Trolt and Dinot. So, what was your name, sir? Dinot says to you.
Turgan Boulder.
Turgan, lad. So, what are you looking for? What can I help you with? You're not from around these parts, I can see.
We're looking for a crew for our airship.
A crew, huh? Well, it just so happens that my brother here is currently unemployed. See, we're from one of the other Sky Islands to the west of here. Still on the Sky Kingdom, but just a different area. Do you have any knowledge of the flat or the round world debate going on around these parts? Because it's one that's we're trying to win in the Grand Chapel.
I believe it's flat.
Interesting. So do I. My brother Drolt, he'll be more than happy to probably... All you have to do is tell him about the flat. He's unemployed. Drolt, come here. You're looking for a job. I'm sure that it's a safe one. This is Turgan and his friends?
The Stag and Booterbuck.
They look at the Warforged. That's interesting. He sort of waves.
This is all in Dwarvish, right?
Yes.
So understandable.
Do you guys speak common?
How are you going to win a debate by only speaking Dwarvish? That would be like the dwarves debating the dwarves about something that they both believe is correct.
All right, then I'm going to switch to common.
And they said, hello, Booter. Haven't seen one of you in forever. We do have a Warforged on our island. We use them for the priests, the chaplain's servants. I'm familiar with you just from a distance, but your Warforged body does not scare us. These men are looking to hire you. I think it's a safe gig. They said they have an airship, and I know that you are looking for pay. Why don't you negotiate? Drolt comes over. He's a little bit heavier set. What kind of work are you looking for?
We just need some crew to help us in our quest on this airship. We lost the other crew due to some unfortunate circumstances, and we need some help.
Well, it's hard to keep a crew. Sometimes they need more motivation. I understand. When you dock, the crew just scatters. I've seen it happen plenty of times. What's the pay? What are we looking for, and how many days?
What are you looking for pay?
Well, I'd love an adventure. Let's get out of here. I guess maybe 3-4 gold a day?
Well, what about 1.5 gold, and you get your lodging, food, and water paid for?
And the adventure of a lifetime.
I'll tell you what, 1.5 is fine. If I prove myself worthy, we can negotiate. If food and lodging is there, then I'm set.
Drolt?
I shake on it, but I do the elbow grab.
When he shakes your elbow. Well, Maydeen starts to tear up a little bit. Oh, I'm going to miss you. It was nice to see you, cousin. And
you can come too if you like.
Yes, we need multiple crew members. In fact, we're looking for people with mechanical ability to work on the engine room.
Maydeen she blushes a little bit, but she says, "Ha, no, I have to stay here. No, thank you. That's not for me."
Oh, we can still have fun while we're here.
I think Stag
Not like you're trying to pick her up.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, boy.
I did this to a mind flayer before. It's a dwarf who was blushing. What are you looking for?
A persuasion.
Persuasion?
You must be this tall.
Or the
So my last three rolls were a 3, a 2, and this one was a 1. A natural 1 for a 15.
That's hilarious.
How do you get a 15 from a 1?
I'm a bard. I'm baller.
She sort of looks at you in a little bit of. She does not blush at all. If anything, she's paler. It's sort of disgust. Ugh,
Was not meant to happen.
that's not gross. It's not for me. And Drolt says, "What are you saying to my cousin?
Oh,
Come on,
Thought
be-
they're
be
a good time.
be a gentleman, whatever you are."
I kind of put my hand on the dwarf and I say, don't mind our friend here. He's been at sea, or I guess at sky, for a long time. You know how it gets.
I guess.
We'll find him a proper lady here at this here establishment.
Are you saying she's not a proper lady?
No, we're saying Stag.
One
you need
more,
to switch
one more.
to-
Yeah, and maybe some water will be good.
An elephant is going to approach you and say, "Ha! I have overheard that you are hiring for some shipsmen. My name is Futon Long Snout, and I used to be a sailor, actually.
Encounters with J.D. Vance.
I'm unfamiliar with that name. My name is Futon Long Snout, and I have some experience sailing small ships from island to island, and I'd be happy to work for you for the same. I overheard 1.5 gold a day."
That's good. Yeah, we always need experienced shipmen here. That sounds like a good deal for us.
All right, so you've picked up two,
So,
and just
Bhutan and Drolt.
do a group perception check for this thing.
Futon?
Everyone, give me
Am I perceiving what kind of futon it is? Like, is it like the kind with the legs
it's
kick
a
out?
gray futon with tusks and a.
I only got a 9, so I didn't really perceive a whole lot.
I got a 24.
What'd you get?
Chris is gonna be good.
Out of the corner of your eyes, Buderbot and Turkin, you see a flashing light, and then you see this feather start to fall, Chris. As you see what they're looking at, you look immediately and you notice that it's a feather. And then the music stops, and everyone around in the general area you can see drop to the ground and kneel. And you are the only ones that are standing. And the feather is falling, and they say, "Oh, a feather!" And they kneel. Bow their head.
I'll look around.
I do the same thing immediately.
I'll follow Turgan's lead.
I'll
I
do
followed the
the
rules.
same. Yeah, gotta follow the rules. Slash, like, I don't want to stand out anymore than everything.
The feather slowly lands on the ground, and you hear the fuzzing sound of the fuzz. You feel gusts of wind pulling around you. With your Arcana check earlier, Buderbot, you get a heightened sense of magic in the realm as you guys were trying to figure out what's going on. Buderbot, with your high roll previously, I'll let that flow into this one too. You hear, it sort of sounds like sirens a little bit, then it dies away, and the music picks back up, and people stamp up. Whew, the feather fall. Whew. I'm glad we noticed that. We don't want the fuzz coming and punishing us for that misdeed, says one
Wow.
of the
Why do you do that? Do you have a copy of
Of
all the
course.
laws?
That you could probably find. They hand those out at the smith shops. Quotes are over there. There's a lady that hands them out to the street.
Thank you.
But just remember, when a feather falls, we
Drop to a knee?
drop to your knee and bow. But
Just curious, what would happen if one didn't drop to their knee?
the fuzz will come and get you.
Who's the fuzz?
call.
When you say the fuzz, I keep thinking you're saying the fawns.
The fuzz, the fuzz, the enforcers, the sky kingdom enforcers will come and get you with their mass power. There's a variety of different punishments. No, breaking this particular law is for death, but they might lock you up. Each of the 10 rules, there are 10. You experience them and then you learn from them. They either lock you in a vault or in a prison with those that have broken the similar rule, or they'll publicly humiliate you or lash you or punish you or lock you up in some other way, usually in forms of humiliation. But, best to be on your lookout for things like this. And the best part about it is we're always on the lookout, but so is the fuzz, the enforcers of the Sky Kingdom. They're always on the lookout for those who do not obey.
Is the feather still on the ground?
It is. And you notice a soldier come over and pick it up.
Okay.
And as you are looking at the ground, Chris, with your high perception, you notice that this place, the only thing that's different about this city than any city that you've been in, is that there's no litter anywhere.
That's nice.
clean.
I like it here.
Inside the bar,
So we're in Japan?
inside the bar, there are like barkeeps and barmaids that are just, their sole purpose is to clean up. There are people on the street cleaning up.
We need to get one of these rule law books and make sure we don't screw up.
Well, there'll probably be more people for hire over at the smith and wood shops area. I would say that you probably want to look for one of them. They probably have more communication with the tradesmen that come in, and a lot of tradesmen aren't. They drop off their goods, and their job is done. Looking for a new job to be had. So I would say most likely the smith shops and export shops like that might have people, but people that you might want to question and see if they're worth hiring. I bid you adieu, gentlemen, and thank you for that fine music. And Maydeen says, thank you. Thank you. What would you guys like to do?
Head to the smith shops. I
I
guess.
actually wanted to go there to maybe get a weapon upgrade, so
Yeah.
that works.
Do we have
Perfect.
enough crew members? That's the only other thing. Like,
I think
There's
we
a
need a
whole-
lot.
there's a whole cadre of quiet people in the back that I was going to talk to that we didn't get to. Can we kind of do a quick little
Metagame?
go back and start talking to them, and then we get it over with
Cool.
to a different part of the story?
Try to get a
hi.
bunch of them.
To hire.
No,
to
not
hire
even-
The way,
Can
roll
I-
it, man.
Don't lie. Booterbot, you are going to go up to the other 2 Loxodon and 2 random dwarfs, and you are going to roll what? Persuasion? You're going to try to
Guidance.
Yeah.
persuade them to join your crew for pay.
So we're on the way out the door, but we're looking for fine young men, women, and elephants that are interested in being part of the crew. I'm specifically looking for people to join me in the mechanics department. If you like machines and you like traveling and want to make some good money, we're currently paying 1.5 gold per day,
Yep.
and we're looking for crew kind of immediately. Would any of you be interested in that? And then I'll roll. We'll see what the answer is. I'm not
Yeah.
very persuasive, but
I
I got a
guided you.
6. Let's
Oh,
get a
no, it's not
guidance. D10. What's the
No, it's a
D10?
D4 for guidance.
I rolled a 10, Spencer. What do you think?
Okay, well, let's have it go against theirs. So that's a 6. It's a 7. That's a 5. Wow. And a 6. Jesus. They are all. You have 4 people that come up to you. But with your low roll, they're going to say, "I'll work for you. We'll work for you. But it's going to take 2 golds. We want 2 golds."
Which of you has specific experience with anything like mechanically related or weapons related? Living in an airship.
Roll me a D4, Booterbot.
It's a 4.
We all have experience I used to be my father's a soldier, my uncle's a soldier, and us dwarfs, we travel around each island, so we're familiar with ships.
All right. Let me go back to my team members here. So I turn around and go back to you guys and I say, good news, I have 4 interested crew members. Bad news is they want 2 gold per day. We have a lot of gold though. Do we care?
How much gold do we have?
I mean, don't we have like 15 diamonds or something crazy? Like, well, whatever Matt had.
Matt's got a lot.
Oh,
Matt has, like, an insane
Ignis had a
amount of
bunch of necklaces, but she is no longer with our group.
Well, did anyone take said necklaces?
No.
Well, they're paying, that's per day, and you guys can always make a side quest to get more gold, if that's
I
your...
think right now, like based on just personal gold, plus probably what you guys have, I think would be all right. Because
Yeah.
they'll also, depending on how things go, they might die, so you don't have to pay them.
True.
Right. That's a good point. And also, I have a scale mail that's worth 50 gold that I can sell because I have plate now and I don't need the scale mail.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
All right,
right.
so you guys
What
got...
are their
Let's fire
names?
it up. Yes.
First off, you guys got Dinot and
And Futon.
Futon.
No, I thought we got
Long-
Drolt and Futon.
Oh yeah, Drolt, sorry. Drolt. Thank
I
you.
love these names.
Well, my name is Trine Can, the dwarf says. And my name is Floor Drop. And you, elephants. The gentleman asked you for their name, and the elephant sort of says, mine is Michael Foot. And this is my buddy Green Toe. For obvious reasons, look at that thing.
What's your last name, Green Toe?
Green Toe Longtail. You see, he has he's got a green toe, but like a long tail. So you guys have 6 new workers. Where shall we meet you? Obviously, you guys are going to enjoy your days here. Shall we say we meet you at your ship at a time? Maybe
Tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
And he says, where are those fucking notes now? Tomorrow morning. Perfect. First light. And he
Sounds
says, yeah, he says, tomorrow morning, yeah, at the first lights, the Dawn's Bow. I'll meet you at Dawn's Bow tomorrow morning.
Right.
By your ship? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Good evening. Thank you. Sounds great. They all sort of disperse. A couple of them go back into the tavern. Now, what would you guys like to do?
The Smith.
The Smiths.
Yeah, now we can go.
The
And
Smiths.
pick up a booklet of the laws.
As you guys are walking towards the Smiths, it's about like a block or 2 away. You see a bunch of people that are in those stocks on the ground. People are throwing fruit at them, but as soon as the fruit hits them, they pick it up and put the fruit in their pockets. And they're yelling, "Boo! Boo! That rule should not have been broken. That rule should not have been broken." There are 3 or 4 of them that have black ashed faces. A guard is letting one of them out as you walk by. So you see that these are some rule breakers that have been caught breaking some kind of law, or prisoners of some kind on the street. But it's up to you what you guys want to do. You guys can continue to go on towards the Smith shop. And I do have random item stuff, which I'm excited to use for your weaponry. So are you guys just headed straight to the shop? Or would you like to interact with what just happened?
What do you think? Chris, you're muted again.
Let's walk by and just... Well, I think we need to find out what the laws are, so I don't get stuck in there.
That's a good point.
An hour has definitely passed, though, Booterbot, so your understanding of Loxodon is gone.
Okay. I could recast it anytime, so just
Yeah,
let me...
you...
Oh, it's only once per long rest. Well, oops.
Good. That opens up a bunch of things. You guys walk in. There's a smith shop and there's a carpenter's shop, and you see people trading. Right next door is a potion shop. If you guys want to stock up on things, you're more than welcome. There's a place where you can purchase weapons or magic items.
You
Yeah,
could sell your. You could sell your chainmail.
Yeah.
And what were you looking for, Turkin?
I just wanted to see if I could, because I've been using a great axe forever, and I wanted to see if I can maybe find a bigger, sharper great axe, or like maybe add a upgrade to it. I don't know, something.
Okay.
That could be within a day, if possible.
That's fine. Tell me what you guys want, and I'll tell you So, great axe.
Damage.
1,000,000 damage.
Or just like, I don't know, just anything. Like maybe like a bonus magical damage or something, like thunder, fire. I have my fire giant belt, so I could go with the fire motif.
Okay. You, sir, welcome to the smith shop. Known around here for forging weapons. What are you looking for? And you're going to tell him some sort of fire axe type thing?
Yeah, I'm looking for an upgrade to my... I'm looking for some kind of a fire upgrade to my great axe.
Is there a better axe that you could get?
Well, I could sell you one of our magic axes, or we can try to infuse it with the dwarf. See here, this is the shop. We take the Loxodon and the dwarf's specialties and we try to meld them together. I'm sure if you could drop your axe here, we can try to create something for you.
I was thinking maybe like a proc, so it can be like a chance. So like if I'm raging, and I can roll a D100, and if I get a certain percent, it might give me some extra fire damage, or if I hit a certain percentage, it might blow up in my face too.
So trying to use and control the fire through an axe. I understand that. No problem. Okay. You come back. Are you staying the evening here? At Don's Bow, I could have my partner here deliver your axe to your ship before you are off. It will cost you 15 gold. He has one in stock, and he's going to show you how to use it. It's going to be an Inferno axe. When you use it, you roll a d20 on the attack, and the target will take 2d6 fire damage and will ignite. Take 1d6 fire damage at the start of its turn until it or another creature uses their axe. So you'll have fire damage and it'll start to burn. But you have to sweep the axe. You have to clean it off to make sure it works. I will add to you that random nat 1, on the attack you'll have to roll a d20, and then depending on the attack, on the DC of the attack, that will happen. So maybe it'll be like an 18 or above on the attack roll. You get 2d6, but on like a 2 or a 1, you might just catch fire.
Okay, so 2d6...
So it'll be. I'll create it for you in the D&D Beyond.
The Beyonds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then I'll just wait for that.
Yeah, I'll drop it towards you. So, your axe, when you get it in the morning, will depending if you get an 18 or above, it'll deal 2d6 fire damage, and the creature stays lit until it's burnt out. And if you roll a 1 or a 2, that d6 happens to you, and any creature around you bursts into flames. That's fine. Next.
Exactly the type of work.
Yeah, so 15 gold. We will drop it off to you in the morning, sir. Pay now, or forever hold your peace.
So first, I'd like to sell him my scale mill. That's worth 50 gold.
Used.
Or at least it says it's worth 50 gold. I'm assuming they're gonna take a haircut on that.
I could get this from you. How does 40 gold sound to you, sir?
That
Or
sounds perfectly
man?
fine, thank you.
What?
Yeah, I've been programmed as believing that I am a male, so we'll go with that.
Would you like a item of some kind?
Well, I'm quite happy with my short sword. What shields do you have?
Shields, huh? Would you like one for the armor? Would you like a magical shield? Would you like... Your friend here wanted fire. Are you looking for...
I'm looking for utility.
Like, are you looking for just like a +2 shield? Or are you looking for like something that has resistance to... or that can cover your whole...
Well, so I have here some dragon's blood. Is there something that you could do with this dragon's blood? Perhaps to give me a special shield of some kind. For instance, dragon scale armor will often have advantage on saving throws of breaths of dragon weapons, or something like that. If we took this dragon blood and infused a liter of it into a shield in some way, is that even a thing? You tell me. Am I being crazy here?
When I asked earlier if you run on oil, what if you replaced your oil with dragon's blood and see what that did?
So what it does is it's a potent and highly addictive stimulant that can give me the ability to randomly cast sorcerer spells, but it's dangerous, unpredictable, and I could throw a fireball in the street and kill innocent people. So it's not something I want to do like today. Like, it also might not work with a Warforged.
A Warforged.
Yeah.
Potentially.
You might have total control over it. I believe in you, Booterbot.
1 pint of your dragon's blood, we may be able to fuse it with this shield, delivering it to you for 20 gold tomorrow morning at the Dawn's Bow near your ship, and we will see what type of dragon fusion we can. Do you know what type of dragon this was from?
Yeah, it was an ancient amethyst dragon.
Ah, Force dragon. What we can do with that. Force, do you have a shield that you'd like to purchase, or do you want us to provide one for you?
The best shield that you can provide.
The +1 shield, which is not what he would say. He would say the Sky Kingdom shield with an asterisk with the symbol of a 1 next to it. And the fusion will come to 30 gold, sir.
Total?
Altogether. With the delivery. Okay.
And so I take the 30 gold and hand it to him. So
Chris.
My net is 10 gold. I can pay all of our crew members for 1 day, guys.
Chris, would you like something?
Do you happen to have a copy of the laws of the Sky Kingdom?
Oh, you know what? It just so happens that Ebenezer outside, the old Loxodon, some people call her a witch, she hands them out freely. She should be right around the corner.
Perfect. I'll rush off and grab one.
What was her name? Ebenezer?
Yeah.
Ebenezer Screws. You see this old, nasty, hairy, gray, but somewhat pinkish Loxodon lady curled up with pamphlets all around her. Don't forget the rules. Your rules. Your rules. Don't forget the rules.
Exactly. The lady I was hoping to find.
And she's going to say, do you know about the rules?
I, in fact, don't. That's why I've sought you out, far and wide, to gain your wisdom on the rules that must be followed in this fair village.
Okay.
Do you happen to have any pamphlets that might list out the rules and ones I can give to some of my companions?
Hands you each this. I'll put it up on our... Where is it?
On the Discord?
There it is. She's going to hand you something that looks like this, and I'm going to drop it in. I took the time out of my day to create a Loxodon alphabet and language.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So let me go ahead and drop that in your Discord under rules, and she hands that to you. The hell do I do that now? Oh, here. Is that the only interaction you're going to have with her?
I will toss her a silver coin saying thank you. And yeah, Don't want to do any of those yet. Let me check my loot. Do I want to cast a spell on her? No, I don't want to do anything else to her. I'll give her the silver piece and say thank you. Are you happy here in the city?
I am. She sort of trips over and drops some of the pamphlets on the street. You can't be too careful. They're always watching.
Would you like to be somewhere where they're not watching?
Yes.
Well, would you like to join us on our airship? For a cruise?
Ooh, what are you offering me?
Well, I'm offering you a vacation.
Well,
Do you know anything about... Well, you've been here for 25 years, you say. I'm sure there's some wisdom, some knowledge that you hold. Do you know much about this pale skull?
oh, the great pale skull, you say? Well,
Yes.
well, why don't you accompany me to the ceremony? And well, it looks like it starts in several minutes from now.
I heard that the real pale skull is below the king's tomb. Do you happen to know where that king's tomb, what king's tomb they're referring to?
Not exactly. No, that would be like that. I'm gonna have one. It's gonna be called EFK for an elephant. It's more like I don't know if you've heard of that one.
LFK. Locks it on.
Yeah. Oh, come with me to the front docks, and I'll show you how to celebrate the ceremony.
Is that where the bridge goes down?
Yeah.
Someone told me that the bridge to the church opens during the ceremony of the pale skull.
Oh, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Hey guys, I found a friend.
Does anyone want anything else?
I have 4 silver to my name, so I can't buy anything.
Could steal stuff.
I'm not the thief of the group.
She's going to lead you down through the town. You're going to see through some gates, and she's going to lead you all the way away from where you guys were standing towards a lower level. I'm just moving the pieces to the lower dock area, closer to the temple. You can see this temple floating in the air, and there are plenty of people, mostly Loxodon, surrounding you down there. As you get closer and closer, you realize that people are gearing up towards some sort of ceremony, some sort of happening. Now I need to find where I wrote the ceremony. The only thing about the computer stuff, which I wish I had printed stuff out, I just haven't.
I know you have to look through all the different folders to find the document.
So priests and monks alike all come down to this area. For the most part, you can tell that it feels like predominantly a large portion of the population is in tune and watching. And as the sun climbs high in the sky, all of a sudden the music stops. The surrounding town stops banging and clanking, and even the birds seem to have, if there are birds up here this high, eagles probably, stop flying around, and it gets really quiet, and all of a sudden the bells of the chapel start to ring. And a lot of the elephants in white cloth come out, and they start to form a circle and start going back and forth like this. They all start to sort of speak in Loxodon tongue, which you wouldn't necessarily understand, and the horn blows at the chapel. And when it ends, the sky is silent. The wind doesn't blow. Definitely magical. This white bridge forms between the temple and the ground, and a high priest elephant starts to walk down from this temple. And as they do, everyone sort of bows down, still rocking in the circle, and you hear the priest, he says, "We come together once a day at midday to celebrate the pale skull. Love is what this skull is about. Love and trust and honor, if you will." And he says, "Now, circle around and sing that praise for our bright crystal in the sky that keeps us all together and warm. It consumes, the white soul consumes, it can consume you, it can control you. The power of love is one that's both good and also bad. For those who can't harness the energy of it, it could ruin you. I've seen it time and time again. And he sings this song, but I will just speak it. He says, white sky above, so endless, so round, your hollow gaze weighs heavy and profound. Turgan, you're having visions here, and I will get to the visions in 1 second. Breathe, we surrender. Hearts we bind tight. Chains of devotion forever in white. Love without falter, love with end. You sort of are now toppled over and prone, and you're just tripping balls, Turgan. Betrayal is death. No vow can we bend. Spiral, eternal, world shaped by will. The skull watches silent, the clouds lying still. O thunder, O lightning, O silence, O breath. Judgment is mercy, devotion is death. Round world unbroken, bound your name. White skull eternal, we burn in your flame. And you hear cheers. Children of love, I hope this day brings you joy. Don't forget to donate some earnings if you have to the temple. We so much need some. We've lost a lot. We've lost some followers, but we gain others. Every coin helps. So you see this hat float around. It's sort of like your mage hand. Turgan, you have flashes in your head and you have visions. You see a skull, a large, beautiful white skull. It is in a dark dungeon cell somewhere, and it's emanating with these glows of light. You have a vision. You see your family, your past, everything in your life that would have been love.
My clan and my immediate family, for sure.
And you also feel the love of that, but you also feel the other side of the love of that when something is lost. Just when you love something, it also sort of kills you on the inside when you lose it. The power of loss is also very much intertwined with that of love. So you feel all these emotions and powers, and you have whispers in your ear, and they say to you, the white hero, and you have a vision of. And are you familiar with? Would your character know? Actually, you know what? Because this is such you would just know that the god Bane. You have a vision of Bane holding this white skull with other colored skulls, and he looks at. It's almost like he's looking at you, and he says, "The white hero comes to us now," and the vision ends. I'm not sure if you would know, but he says you would just know that he's like a very, very dark, evil character, but definitely a god of some kind. The dark hero comes to us now. And you are sort of on the ground in a trance when this ceremony ends.
Does anybody know that?
I would notice Turgan. I would go check on him.
So I notice what's happening to Turgan, and I look, and I see, when I look at Turgan, I see this symbol here. It is a box split into 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant, there's a single vertical line. The second quadrant, there's 2 vertical lines and they're offset. In the third quadrant, there's 2 vertical lines that are together parallel. In the fourth quadrant, there's a vertical line and a horizontal line. It seems like some kind of rune that could be related to this.
I need to see that.
Let me send it to you.
Posted in...
Oh, no, everyone can see it.
Dun dun dun.
Wait to see this thing.
Where should I post it in Discord? General?
Like,
Roleplay?
I would say roleplay. But
Your bot spam.
Roleplay is good. Let's put in roleplay. Here goes. If you know what that references, you get kudos from me.
wow.
Yes. I'll explain it another time if you want.
No, I need to know right now what that is.
Alright, well, it's the loss meme. You talked about the White Skull is both about love and about loss. Well, the loss meme is a really famous meme about the Control-Alt-Delete webcomic where people have turned it into a running joke for about a decade.
all right, so this is a deep cut.
This is a really deep cut. I was wondering if anyone knew what the heck I was talking about. But
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
No, that's fine. We can use that. What are you going to say to him?
I'll try to wake them up.
I'm being controlled by the DM right now.
Oh no,
That's
you're
true.
you're awake. Your eyes open.
Okay.
So I just go, Turgan, wake up.
What was that?
Turgan, what did you see, Turgan?
The White Skull. I saw the White.
Did you see anything else? Or feel anything else about any people, anything?
Did I, Spencer?
You saw the White Skull in a tomb in a dark room, vibrating, and then everything faded, and then you saw the White Skull being held by the Dark Lord, who was holding 5 other colored skulls as well. And he looked to you and said, "The White Hero joins us now."
So I just tell that to Muruba.
Okay. Well, then I don't know the meaning of what I saw on you, but the symbol that I saw on you is the symbol of loss. So I wonder if not all of us will make it on this journey. That is a problem for another day, I suppose.
Turgan, you... Actually, Chris, give me a history check.
History.
Alright, 13. You will have remembered, and so will Turgan, at the banquet of the king, I had given Turgan some sort of illness at that table, and his veins were actually sort of white and palish looking. If you go back and rewatch that episode, that's playing a factor here in at least Turgan's mind, and with your history roll, you remember that. And you also understand that, well, there's a skull at play here.
Yeah. Well, Kurgan, I think you might be the White Hero. If you were meant to come on this journey with Sprock and myself and the rest of us, you had a reaction before similar to this. For me, with the green skull, you don't really... There's no way to know until you just know. So you gotta believe, if that's what you want.
Well, I believe there's something wrong.
Well, let's get you checked out. But all that started happening when they're chanted to the White Skull. Is that bridge still available?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's go talk to the church. See what they might know. If anything,
Alright.
they might know what's wrong with you.
The church has a member in front saying, "We are collecting collections, sir, to visit the church."
I'll take care of this for us, and I'll put 3 silvers in the cup.
Very good. Carry on. As you
One
step
for each of us.
As you step on this magical path, it feels sleek and slippery. It's steeply inclined, but it's like your feet are mounted to it magnetically almost. You don't feel the steepness to the walk. It's like your treadmill is inclined at 12, but it feels almost as if you're walking flat.
This is a magical device. They should give it a unique name. Something like an escalator of sorts.
And everyone hears a noise, and actually, you know what? Everyone hears a different sound. And they're going to give me a perception check. Actually, passive perception. Turgan, you look out in the distance. What do you see?
I have a 14 passive.
Yeah, that's fine. What do you see? Out in the distance, in the clouds, in the sky. Anything.
I see a weird symbol, and it kind of looks like a penis. The penis symbol.
A penis.
The one that's
Like
on
a tin?
A cloud.
Like a
A
tin
cloud. A cloud in the shape of. There's clouds everywhere, but there's one broken sky area of blue, and in the middle of it is a penis-shaped.
It's a Johnson.
The symbol that was on Sprach. I saw that symbol, and I was supposed to find the man with that symbol on his face, and that was Sprach. So now it's reappearing again.
And as you witness that, you get a feeling of almost like that search has been somewhat completed. You feel like your character has finished that path, but another one has started. A feeling of conclusion with the penis part. And there's more to the penis symbol than meets the eye. Chris, what do you see?
Stag walks up and he sees a flock or a herd of sky dolphins. Dolphins jumping through the clouds and frolicking and playing.
What do you see?
I see an airship, like a far in the distance, kind of between the clouds. I make out what looks like a very advanced airship, like significantly more weapons and armor than our own.
Off in the distance, you see a airship that seems to be, at first glance, awfully familiar with that of the ships being built in the Underdark. Almost like the drilling ships and trading ships they had at the Lower Dark station in Striad that they used. Almost alien. Definitely Mind Flayer, but just at first glance. And with that, you guys will head up towards the temple, and this is going to be a bizarre temple. You get to the entrance of this floating temple, and you saw the high priestess walk in, and as you get in, the doors are currently closed. What do you guys do? You look around, there's nothing that you can see keeping this temple suspended in the air. Dolphins are underneath you flying.
I'll knock on the temple door.
And the temple door opens. And what you see inside this temple is a large labyrinth. And it looks as if, you look around this thing, it seems small, but on the inside, it's huge. And so begins
The labyrinth.
a dungeon crawl for next time.
Nice.
That's
All
all I
hands.
have. This is going to be the first episode of Act 10B. Search for the Sky Kingdom continues. So this one was supposed to be somewhat slow and just lore-driven. Oh, yeah. And as you guys are walking up, you will hear sirens and whatnot, and a bunch of blue smoke appears with blue-colored Loxodon, and they grab Ebenezer, and they say, "Ma'am, you have littered yet again." You hear them yelling, and you know what the punishment is. Here's the broom. Go clean up your mess you made down the block near the Smithstone. You can't leave those maps on the ground here. 7 days of cleaning you owe us. That will end the session. Chris, as you enter, you find the entrance. Everything in there is Loxodon. At the entrance, there is a cipher, which will be dropped into the Discord from my made-up language, which you can use to translate.
Okay.
We'll see you next time.